everyone. I'm so excited to introduce to you today two of the most amazing speakers we have coming up for the 2021 DEO Fall Summit in Orlando this November. We have Nathan Chitty and Ken Kaufman, some of the foremost financial experts in group dentistry, and they are going to help us figure out how to double our dental growth, looking at it through a financial lens. So quick introductions. Ken, do you want to give the viewers here a little bit about yourself? And then Nathan, we'll kick it over to you as well. So Ken?
Sure. So I've been in the CFO or Chief Financial Officer role in private equity-backed companies since 2004. Most recently joined Community Dental Partners 5.5 years ago and been involved with quadrupling our growth over that period of time. And I love dental, love being in dentistry.
So I started my career in finance as a CPA, going to commercial banking, and then inside as a CFO. And for the last 20 years, I've been a merger and acquisition intermediary focusing on helping small startups grow and raise capital. I was recruited to Operation Dental. We'll do about 25 million in revenue this year, about a year ago, to help facilitate growth.
Awesome. So both of you have run the financial aspects of DSOs that have not only doubled, tripled, quadrupled, and continue to grow. So we're going to talk about doubling growth through the financial lens. That can be looked at through the four walls, through KPIs, and how to look at the efficiency of one practice or a few practices, and then on to associate ownership, setting up deal structures, financing. So we got the whole gamut here. So Ken, do you want to give us a little preview of some of the things you hope to talk about and go over with the audience?
Yeah, sure. And we think about it in form of what's called organic growth and inorganic growth. So organic growth means what you've got and how can you improve it, enhance it, and make it better. And then the inorganic growth is where you're adding new things, whether it's acquisition or de novo. I'll touch on a couple of the things I'm thinking about from same store growth and that organic growth element. And then I'll pitch it over to Nathan, and Nathan can talk about some of the things they're doing on the inorganic side of the growth. But it really comes down to, when you think about each of your dental practices, generally speaking, there are latent opportunities all around. A lot of times we look at the efficiency by operatory, like revenue per operatory or revenue per clinician. There's several different ways to think about that. And then ways to look at how can we encourage comprehensive diagnosis, and then figuring out how can we keep as much of that treatment in-house with not just the skill set of our existing providers, but also are there specialties that we perhaps could layer in or bring in a day a week or a day a month, those sorts of things as they make sense. And then as you think about the profit and loss statement, because that's driving revenue, but there are so many places where there's literally money dropping off of the back of the truck, if you will, or out of the back door of the dental practice. And it starts with reimbursement rates. Are you really collecting everything you should? What's your write-off percentage? And how do you make sure that you're getting every dollar that you deserve to get relative to the production that's being generated by the doctors for the benefit of the patients? And then there's so many other opportunities and latent low-hanging fruit. That's just a quick little teaser, Jake, of what we're planning to talk about, at least in terms of organic growth.
So we're thinking about, a lot of folks will say, squeeze the juice. How do we squeeze the juice out of the current assets that we have? So that's one way to look at doubling growth. And then Nathan, you're looking at a whole nother world here, which is this idea of outside the four walls. How do I grow through, bring on other doctors, bring on other locations? How do I get finances? So Nathan, you want to talk a little bit about what you're thinking about for this session?
Well, it starts with, for most people, it starts with bank financing. And so we'll be talking about the way to position your DSO and your group for good bank financing. It'll start with things like reviewed and audited statements, and bringing in the communication with those bankers, and perhaps even more than one bank under certain circumstances, although generally it's one senior bank. Second, we'll be talking about other methods of financing, because there are particularly private placements, even crowdfunding. Crowdfunding is available up to 5 million now with the new limits. Here at Operation Dental, we've utilized private placements to raise low-cost financing from dentists. So in terms of acquisitions, which is a method of growth, we'll be talking about bank financing and how you pay for those acquisitions.
Amazing. So we're hitting it from all angles. So I'll ask you, Ken, and then I'll ask you, Nathan, if you're watching this video and you're considering coming to this event with all of us, what would you say to somebody who's on the fence? Why should they come, Ken?
This event every year is an absolute game changer. Not only do I make sure I attend every year, but I invite literally a dozen team members from my organization to come. It takes your mindset to the next level. It gets you ready to really think about how can I maximize what I'm working with and how can I grow it. And I love the theme of doubling dental. I don't know that it's a new title, but that's always been the underlying premise is how do we grow and how do we really maximize what we're trying to accomplish and ultimately maximize the impact that all of these entrepreneurial dentists are trying to achieve. So it's an absolute essential first thing that goes on my calendar is I make sure that I'm going to be attending this summit.
Love it. How about you, Nathan? Yeah. How do you think about attending? What would you say?
It's the same thing. We're having 6 of our teammates go. And what we'll do is we'll be hearing this content that will give us a perspective to make some major choices and decisions. And we'll all have the same information. So we will experience it. And then afterwards, we'll have a planning session that says, okay, we heard what we thought was a brilliant idea from various things. What are we going to do with it? And so that's what I would say. Encourage people to come and bring more than one from their team, because to really take action, you've got to be able to talk with someone that's been there and can make those decisions. So bring them.
Yeah, we're starting to see that as the trend. The kind of most efficient, highest performing dental teams and leadership teams are starting to come to things together. So right, you don't have that game of telephone where you hear an idea, you got to go back on Monday morning, got to explain it. Like, no, trust me, it felt different when they said it. And you're doing it together. You're leaving those events with the decisions made. I mean, you're really coming Monday morning with the strategy already decided. So super excited. 2 of my favorite people. We're going to get down in some real nuts and bolts talking about finances, numbers, all the stuff that you all have probably been living your entire life and that you guys love to do. And we got the right people. We're excited. So thanks so much.
Thank you.
See you guys.